everyone, welcome to Rachel's Butterfly Effect. I'm Rachel, and we are going to be talking about the June energy and what we can expect through the month of June. So I get, different channeled messages, and I'm able to read the energy that's going to be coming in for all of us. So when we look at the May energy, we had a very, very huge transformational time during May, and we received a lot of energy. We moved through a lot of different portals. We moved through the eclipse season, right? So this stirred up a lot in our physical, emotional, and energetic body. And really the way that I have been shown June is that we have gone through a huge energetic and a huge transformational shift from March, April, and May. And then we're moving into June, and this is going to be a time of rest and integration. Those are the two big words that are coming up for me for June. So we're going to be diving into the beginning, the middle, and the end of June in this video, and what you can expect and how to work with all of the energy that is going to be coming in through June. So when we look at the very beginning of June, I'm really seeing that we're moving through kind of a portal, or we're moving through, we've talked about in May, sorry, they're bringing it up to me as I'm talking, so I'm channeling it as I'm going. So they said in May, we felt a lot of those birthing pains over the last few months. And right now we're coming out the other side of that, and we're being reborn anew. And that's what I'm really beginning to see in the beginning part of June, is that rebirth that's going to happen. And when we rebirth, we need time to rest, and we need time to integrate so that we can step into that next stage of our life as we move into July, August, and September, right? So what we're doing right now is that we're stepping into a new version of ourselves. We are stepping into a new energy. And what I'm seeing is they're snapping their fingers. They're there's just a radical shift, a radical change, where all of a sudden it's like the healing has just happened for you. It's already done, right? So we as humans have this want to go through this process and to dig, and that something has to happen in order for us to forgive ourselves and to forgive others and to find that resolution and that healing. And what I'm being shown is that you've already done all of the work that was needed. So a lot of you who are here with me, we've integrated those high frequencies energies. We've looked at our shadow, right? And now the work is done. So it's time for us to surrender and to just allow ourselves to be and to rest. That's what I'm really seeing for, especially through all of June, but especially the beginning part of June, is that all of a sudden there's just going to be a switch that turns on. I'm kind of seeing the light just flicks on, and you are all of a sudden just ready. You're all of a sudden just ready to move on. You're ready to leave the old behind you. That's what I'm seeing, is that we have this old version of ourselves. We have this old baggage that we've carried. And it's the light flicks on, or we just toss down the bag and we just move. That there isn't any more where we need to kind of go through the bag anymore, because we've gone through it. We've seen it. We know what it is, and now it's time to just put it down and move on. And there's going to be a radical healing, or a radical shift, or a dramatic healing. Spontaneous, that's the word they want me to use, spontaneous healing. I knew that there was a word there that I wasn't saying. Yes, spontaneous healing, right? So it's just going to kind of happen. The next thing that is coming up as we continue to move through June is self-forgiveness. So a lot of us right now are still holding on. A lot of us right now are still holding on to the old version of ourselves, right? And we're doing this because we're judging ourselves. So we're saying, there's a version of me who played in this 3D paradigm. There's a version of me that played in victimhood. I allowed my trauma to run my life, right? There's a version of me where I maybe was unconscious. And we are looking at that version of ourselves and we're judging that version of ourselves. And they want you to know that it is okay for you to let that go now, and for you to forgive yourself for this version that played within the 3D matrix, for that version of yourself that played in the old, right? Because a lot of us are starting to step into the new. We're starting to step into a version of ourselves where we are light, we are love, right? We want interconnectedness, we want community, we want to live in balance with nature and with each other, right? And there's a version of us that we didn't do that. We weren't even conscious that we needed to do that. And now we've become conscious, so we are judging our unconscious self. So that's part of this radical healing that's going to happen, is that the forgiveness is going to just come, where you're just able to see that it's okay, right? And like they're showing me like that higher perspective, right? Where we have to understand that there was a lot of density on the planet. There was a lot of lower vibrational energy on the planet that kept you in that unconscious state. And as the energy shifts and as the energy begins to rise, that we have to be able to know that that's the reason why we are waking up. That's the reason why we are becoming more conscious. That's the reason why we are starting to remember who we are. Remember that, that things don't have to look that way. And as we move through that, we have to forgive ourselves for being in that old. So that's going to be a very important part of June. So what I'm really seeing for June is that it's about rest. It's about self-love. It's about nurturing. It's about reconnecting to your joy. So we really want to almost stop taking everything so seriously, because we've been in a very serious time of transformation. There's so much happening in the collective. There's so much happening within ourselves as we're digging through all of this old, right? And we have to not judge ourselves for the old. We have to let go of our attachment to our old self and begin to just find joy in each present moment as we navigate through this rebirth and this new version of you. This new version of you sees, the divinity in everything, right? Everything. And you see the joy in everything. So allow yourself to feel that joy. Allow yourself to feel that happiness and that playfulness that you deserve to feel. That's what they're saying. So June is going to be us really stepping back, sitting that bag down of the old, and just kind of just taking a breath of fresh air. Like I just see this where it's just it's okay. I'm done. I don't have to judge myself for it. I can sit it down and I can move forward with my life, and I deserve joy. Right? I'm worthy of joy. I'm worthy of happiness, right? And then we can also see the happiness in everything, because they're also saying that, that it doesn't mean that this rebirth or that June or what we're going to continue to move through or being this new version of yourself, it's not always going to be easy, right? Because we're going to have to continue to let go. We have to continue to release our attachments. So a lot of us are still very attached to the old version of ourselves. And it's okay to let that go and to give yourself the joy that you deserve. So that's a very big part of June that we're going to be transforming into. And as any challenges come up through the month of June, we're going to be able to see, even in the challenge, the joy in it. We're going to be able to see the transformation in it. We're going to be able to see the change in it. So we're going to have this higher perspective of our physical reality that is going to allow you to navigate anything that is going to come up with a lot more ease and a lot less stress and a lot less fear. So they're also saying that fear is that a lot of us have fear of our transformation. We have fear of our healing because, let's be honest, sometimes it's not easy to let go, right? And we have fear, like, if I let go, what's next, right? So we want to trust what is next. We want to trust ourselves, trust our guides, trust the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe, that you want to really trust that, right? And just to know that it's okay to take a deep breath. It's okay through this journey to nurture yourself and to care for yourself and to give yourself what you enjoy. I'm also seeing too that as we get into the end of June, even mid-June, end of June, you know, we're already, some of us are already seeing this, where we're seeing the physical divine. We're seeing the physical, how do they want me to say this? Just a second. We're seeing the physical of our manifestations. We're seeing the physical of our new, right? So we want to, there's a lot of old that's still playing out in the collective, but on an individual level, you've already shifted into the new. So we want to focus on the new and not focus on the old. So there's kind of a switch in our awareness that's happening, where as we've been doing a lot of our clearing, we've been focusing on a lot of the old. We've been focusing on our old baggage, our old healing, our old traumas, our old belief systems, behaviors, patterns, conditioning, right? And we want to start to switch into the new and focusing on the new that's going to be coming in. Because we are the way showers. We are the ones that are going to be birthing this new. So we want to be focusing our attention and our energy on the new and not the old. And when the old comes up, we are to release our attachment to the old. So even when fear comes up and we have the fear of the old or a fear of letting go of the old, we want to sit with that. So fear is not necessarily bad, right? So we want to really be getting rid of this duality of that fear is bad, right? So when you feel fear, sit with your fear, talk to your fear, learn from your fear so that you can get the information that is coming from your fear, right? And that's a lot of what, you know, this month is going to be about, is finding the joy and honoring our fear at the same time. That's kind of what I'm seeing, is like there's a little bit of a battle, an internal battle that's happening with all of us, where we're ready. We want to step into that new, but we're scared to. We want to let go of that baggage, but we're scared to, because we have identified with something that is old, right? That has been our identity. So we want to let go of our identity and create a new identity for yourself, and to know that that's okay. So there's a lot of transformation that's happening and a lot of change that is happening, but it's all good. So I'm really seeing, you know, I think in maybe May, I started to talk about those like sprinkles of light that are kind of starting to spark up on an individual level all over the globe, right? And that's what this is that now I'm seeing those sparks that are coming up, and we're beginning to emerge that all together on a deeper level. So they're saying that through this month, they really want us to focus on forgiveness and self-love. That's like the message for this month, is let go, surrender. It's okay to put down the old, forgive yourself for the old, and focus on the new. And that's really what we're going to be seeing in June. And it's really about just, there isn't anything that needs to be done, though. That's the thing, is that they're saying that they're like, it's just a dramatic healing, a dramatic shift and change, that all of a sudden you can just put it down. You can just move on. There isn't anything more to do. There isn't any work left to do. So it's not like you have to work to forgive yourself, just forgive yourself. And there's going to be kind of like a healing that happens on, they're saying even on a collective individual scale, where it's just going to, like, the light will flick on, it's just happening. So a lot of us as well are going to, there's still so many of us that are waking up as well to this for the first time. A lot of us are starting to really question the narrative that we've been given, starting to question the old that we've been given. And for those people who are watching this, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Because a lot of the time when we wake up and we see what we've been living in for the first time, it can be overwhelming. And to just know that there isn't anything that you need to do. There isn't anywhere that you need to be. There isn't anything that you need to change, because everything that is playing out on the planet right now, we are exactly where we need to be. And no matter what challenges come up, you are going to navigate those challenges with so much grace and so much ease and with so much peace in your heart, that we are going to be able to see the joy and the excitement and the new being birthed. That's the thing, is that we're really starting to see the new. So we want to really focus our energy and our attention on the new, and whatever that looks like to you, because what I might picture the new being could be different than you, but we all have our own like mission, or we all have our own journey that we are going through. We all have our own new that is being birthed. So your new may be different than my new, but they're both right and they're both perfect, and you have to trust your inner guidance. So they're also showing me that, yes, you have to trust your inner guidance. So we have, like, the veil is thinning. That's what they're saying. They're like, the veil is thinning. So your messages and your intuition and your inner guidance is literally like, it's on point. That's literally like, they're like just on point. So we have to know that as we go through, that you know what is best, and discernment is going to be very important. So everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. Words are energy. What we're seeing is energy. Everything is energy. So we are becoming the masters of reading energy, all of us, because we are energetic beings and we're living in an energetic world. So we want to use our discernment. So one way that you can do this is by feeling the energy of the situation that's in front of you, feeling the energy of what you're being told or what you're being shown. So they're almost like, you know, if you're faced with a decision, have decision 1, decision 2, and bring those decisions into your heart, bring those decisions into your energy, and feel the energy between situation 1 and situation 2, or decision 1, decision 2. And you will know which one is created in love, which one is created in your highest timeline, which one is created in the new energy, so that you are able to move forward and to make that decision with so much ease, because you just know, right? And a lot of us too, yeah, they want me to bring this up, that, just a second. A lot of us have been told that our intuition or that our knowingness has to be shown to us in a certain way. So some of us will be able to instantly read the energy. Some of us will be given messages in our dreams. Some of us will hear the message. Some of us will see the message in a vision. Some of us, like, so when we get downloads, because the veil is thinning, that we're all getting downloads, that there is no right or wrong way to receive your download, that we're all different. So, you know, like even how I channel is different than how others do it. And it doesn't mean that mine's wrong or that mine's not right or that it's not happening for me, right? And it doesn't mean that it's not happening for you, but that it's different. That some of us are going to, you know, get our clairvoyance or our clairsentience or our cognizance, right? And it comes in different ways, or a clairaudience, they want to, you know, it comes in different ways for all of us. So, you know, that was one thing for me when I began to channel, is that I thought that channeling had to look a certain way. I thought that, you know, that some, like a being would drop down into my body and I would step aside and then they'd channel a message through me, but it's not like that for me, right? So it held me back from honoring my gift, where they're like, don't hold yourself back from honoring your gift. Allow your gift to come up the way that it wants to come up for you, and begin to step into it and to trust it. And that's going to be very important for a lot of the star seeds and the light workers, and, you know, the ones that are waking up right now, is that you feel like, you know, that you're starting to see things in a new light. You're starting to, and you're wanting to step into this new, and you're wanting to make a difference, but that you have a lot of fear and a lot of self-judgment because you think it's supposed to look a certain way. So they're like, we have to begin to let go of our self-judgment. We have to begin to let go of our fear, and you have to allow it to be what it is, and to trust it, and to step into it on a deeper level, right? And that's what June's going to kind of be about, where like there isn't any, again, there's no work to be done. That's what they keep saying. They're like, but there's no work to be done. All you have to do is just be. So in June, they really, really want us to stop doing, and to stop working, and to stop healing, even, because we're doing our healing, we're doing our ascension, we're doing our meditation, we're doing, right? And they're like, there's no doing. It's more about allowing and trusting, because you're already, like, I hate using the word doing, but you're already doing it. You're already there. So stop trying to get there. There's nowhere to get. There's nowhere to be other than where you are. And where you are is perfect. So you need to allow yourself to be where you are and to work from that place. They're also bringing up as well that as we continue on this journey, that everybody is at different stages. So you may be maybe, you know, more awake and more conscious of what is going on than, say, your partner or your friend or your family. And this can be difficult for a lot of us because we can feel alone, and we can feel like we judge ourselves because we fear that others are going to judge us. But that you can be authentic, and you can have your belief system without pushing it onto anybody else, and without trying to get anyone else to see it the way that you see it. So they're showing me right now like a gate, and your gate is your gate. That you can't take a friend and say, hey, come on, I'm gonna show you the gate. I'm gonna show you the way. Come follow me, and try to push them through your gate, because that's not their gate, that's yours. So they're saying that everybody has their own gate, and they have to find it themselves. That you can't find it for them. You can't necessarily show them the way to the gate, because your gate's different than theirs. And what they want you to do is to embody your gateway, embody your new being. And in doing that, you will be a reflection to others, where they will, when they're ready, find their gate, right? So we can help others find their gate, but not by trying to help them, right? You can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. You can't wake somebody up who doesn't want to be woke up. You can't show somebody the way if they're happy with where they are. So they're saying to just let that go. And again, that's part of that trust, and that some of that like wanting to to show somebody the way, or wanting to push somebody else through the gate, or wanting to push somebody else to see it your way, is part of that fear. That we are scared that if you step into this gate and if you transform the way that you know that you are meant to, that you're going to leave others behind. So you're afraid of your own healing, you're afraid of your own transformation. And they're saying that that's not, that you can't, well, a mixture of two things. They're saying that you can't hold yourself back for anybody, even if it is your most loved one. And they're also saying that you have to trust your loved ones. You have to trust the people that you care about, and you have to trust the universe, that the universe is going to take care of you and the universe is going to take care of them, and that we are all on our own mission, and that we all have free will, and that we all have our own choices. So they're really saying that, you know, that we have to step into ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves first before we can take care of others. You have to forgive yourself first before you can forgive others. You have to love yourself first before you can love others, right? And we all have this like conditional love where it's like, well, if you don't see things my way, then how can I love you? And we need to let go of some of that. And we need to just love people for exactly where they are at. We need to love people for exactly what they are in this now moment, and know that where they are is perfect, and that they're going to get to where their soul is supposed to take them when they're supposed to do it. So again, we want to let go of that fear. So it's interesting because as I'm going through this, I'm like, okay, so there's a lot of fear clearing that's going to be coming up in June, just through these messages that I'm getting right now. But it's more so that like we are not even doing any work anymore. So as much as we're clearing our fear, we're also not really doing anything. So I really do see June as like a month of rest, and a month of just integration, a month of joy and surrender, because by surrendering and just letting go, the fear will dissolve away. That's what I'm like literally seeing it like dissolve, like almost like a kind of like a smoke cloud that just kind of like out of your field. It's just like it's gone. So we're really stepping into that next stage of allowing, of flow. And that again is that divine feminine energy is coming in even more in June, where we have to remember that, you know, that flow and that divine feminine energy, it's not that push energy anymore. That's the old way of doing things, that old way of wanting to grab somebody and pull them through my gate and show them the way. That's the old. So we're letting go of that now, and we're stepping into a surrendering state where we're going to begin to allow and trust and use our intuition and our inner guidance, and that's all divine feminine energy. So it's a really, really beautiful month, and I really just see like so much green. Like I know a lot of us, you know, especially in the northern hemisphere, we're stepping into summer now, and I really see that like there's like that summer like energy, because in the summer we have a lot more energy, but this is also happening for everybody, even if you're in that southern hemisphere, you know, where you're maybe stepping into more rest, where things quiet down more. So we're really going to be moving into this new, it's all new, and it's like sunshine and rainbows, literally, right? So you need to just let go and allow the sunshine and rainbows to come to you, and to trust the inner guidance, and to trust, you know, as you move through it. Let me see if there's anything else for June. Yeah, they're saying as well that we don't need to fear the loss of the old. We don't need to fear the collapse of the old. In the collective right now, we're seeing a lot of shift and a lot of change and a lot of collapse. And we have to remember that as there's a collapse that is happening, that there is also a rebirth and a birth and a new that is happening simultaneously. So as things shift, you know, that we want to remember that there is always a new to hold on to. So that's also going to be important over the next, 6 months to a year. They're saying that this is going to be like an ongoing message that I'm going to give you guys all of the time, is that, you know, we need to move away from the collapse of the old and the fear of the collapse of the old, because it's going to be shown to us at every corner, whether it's through the news or whether it's through conversations that you're having with, you know, the people around you, because a lot of people are seeing it. So people are going to be talking about it, and you don't need to be afraid of it. And you don't need to be worried that you're not going to be taken care of, or that you're not going to have money, or that you're not going to have food, or that you're not going to have, you know, the things that you need to be able to survive and to take care of yourself or to take care of your family, because those things will be provided for you, because the old is going to be leaving us as the new is being birthed. So the way that we used to receive money, or the way that we used to receive food or housing, is going to shift, so that you will still have those things, even though they're not going to be done the same way that they used to be done. So this is really coming up strongly for the next, you know, they're even saying 4 to 5 months is what I'm hearing. So the next 4 to 5 months, there's going to be a lot of change in the collective, a lot of fear in the collective, and a whole narrative. So we're going to step into a time where we can look at it and see it for what it is, and know what it is, without being fearful of it, or without it controlling our actions, right? That you can see it, but we're so focused on this new, we're so focused on our joy and what brings us joy and what we want to birth into a new paradigm, that this almost doesn't matter. It's kind of like background noise now, where before that used to run us. So we're stepping into a place where, like, literally, that's what I'm seeing. It's just kind of like a distraction and background noise. And a lot of us are starting to see it as distraction and background noise. So you can look at it, but be very mindful when you look at it. So don't unconsciously watch the news. Consciously watch the news if you're going to, you know? And it's like almost like kind of like a check-in. That's what they're saying. They're like, you can check in with it once in a while, but don't sit with it all the time. Don't watch it all the time. Don't talk about it all the time. Don't, you know, so do your check-ins, so you can kind of check in and be like, okay, yep, I see you. You're the old, you're just kind of the distraction. You're the background noise. You're kind of falling apart. Things are chaotic and crazy over there, but you want to know what? I'm focusing over here because I'm creating new systems. I'm creating new ways of being. I'm creating new, you know, I'm creating the new. So we really want to be focusing our energy over here on the new, and allowing ourselves to step into that and to find our joy while we do that, without being in fear that this is coming down, right? And that's kind of what I'm really, you know, seeing, because that's going to be a theme over the next 4 to 5 months, the next 6 months, and it's going to potentially continue past that. But the next 4 to 5 months is going to be a lot of this noise. So we really want to you can check in with it and come right back here, but all of your energy and attention always has to be going toward the new. And you have to trust the new, trust your inner guidance, trust that you're going to be taken care of as you navigate this time. So that's what they're saying about the collective right now, and how we can kind of, they're saying combat that, right? Combat that old, combat that new, that we don't have to do any work with it. And it's the same thing with our own inner shadow, our own unconscious that we have carried with us, that it's like, you can check in with it once in a while, because it's only going to come up once in a while, because you've already sat the bag down and you're just now moving on to a new. So June is going to be like, I literally see it the most beautiful month, the most beautiful month where we just want to rest. We want to forgive ourselves. We want to just lay it all down and just move into the new. And, you know, I did a post that was channeled to me, could have been yesterday. That was a message from your future self. And you guys can go onto my Instagram at Rachel's Butterfly Effect and look at that message, because it was a message from your future self saying that everything that you are manifesting is already done for you. It's already there in your future. So you don't have to do anything to try to make it happen. That where we're really at right now, because we've been working in this manifestation energy, because there's been so much of it, right? That all we need to do now is just put your attention there and trust your inner guidance, and it's going to be shown to you. And every time it's shown to you and that inner guidance comes in, follow it. And you're going to end up with so much abundance and love and deep, meaningful connection with people, and, you know, harmony and oneness and union. And, you know, just like I'm seeing this even like with nature as well as with people. So we really, you know, just need to continue to trust this process and continue to trust, you know, where we're going, and know that it's already happened for you. And all you need to do is just continue to keep your energy on that new. Because if we're really focusing our energy on that old, we're going to have a lot more difficulty. So it's okay to let go of the old. Check in with it once in a while if you even want to. If you're not being called to, then don't. You know, and do what resonates with you. Use your discernment and to trust the process and trust your inner guidance. So yeah, I'm seeing like literally just like sunshine and rainbows for the next month for a lot of us. So it's really like you guys can take a nice deep breath at the end of this message and know that like you did it. You made it. You're already there. And you know, they're like, we're just like so proud of you guys. You know, and I'm proud of all of us, you know, light workers and starseeds and awakened ones that are here right now, because we've already done it. So I just want to double check and see if there's anything else that needs to be said in this message. Yeah, so they want me to bring up that they're like, we're here for you. You all have, you know, a non-physical team that is working with you, that is bringing you into a place right now where you are connected and embodying your higher self. So we're really seeing a higher self embodiment where we see that higher perspective. We see that inner light, and that you need to just continue to trust your intuition and know that it is already being embodied for you, and that your guides are here to help facilitate that process. So they really want you to know that they are here and that they are helping you, and that you need to speak with them and work with them. I also am going to be doing a Meet Your Guides mini program that's going to be coming out in May. So this is going to be an amazing program for you guys. It's going to have so much information about the non-physical realm, about your guides, about your teams that you incarnated with, how to work with them, how to know that they are there working with you, how you can connect with them on a deeper level. And then there's also going to be meditations where you can, you know, meet your guides. And to be able to gain any insight and wisdom from them. So it's going to be a really good program. So again, you can check out my Instagram, because that's where I release a lot of this stuff if you're watching this on YouTube. So yeah, this is going to be a beautiful time, guys. I'm so excited to be here with all of you, and I am sending you so much love and light, and I can't wait to be back for so much more information to come. If you have any questions, you know, please leave comments. Let me know what you think of this video, and I am sending you all love.